Hi world, it's Friday, it's the 13th of November 2015. This is me in northwest Wales, mountains, sheep, just for those who don't believe that sheep are here, sheep. Right, Saturn Square Neptune, a number of different things. Many months ago when I was talking about Saturn Square Neptune, I talked about it in capacity for a flood, whether it was going to be a flood of a pandemic, a flood of empathy or a flood of refugees. And at least in Europe, with Africa and the Middle East, the refugee crisis is only going to get worse before it gets better. There has to be something done about it, and I find it morally repugnant. But on the one hand, we're talking about stopping all the refugees coming to this country and sorting out the problems in their own countries, whilst at the same time we're continuing to fund those corrupt regimes in those African and Middle Eastern countries that are perpetuating the refugee crisis and continuing to sell them guns and arms. Personally, I'm disgusted with the government of this country. We are perhaps the third biggest arms exporter in the world, second only to Russia and America. And if we were to stop selling guns, that would go a hell of a long way towards ending the refugee crisis over the medium-term future. Also, with Saturn Square Neptune and with all the planets in Scorpio, I talked about the secrets and lies coming to the surface a few days ago and the corruption being exposed. Particularly with this doping situation, I find it very incongruous and rather strange that the person who's now heading the International Athletics Federation, Sebastian Coe, who's supposed to be the epitome of clarity and honesty and integrity, is also, of course, the global ambassador for Nike. So how does that wash? Doesn't work for me. I think that the guy's a bit of a fraud, and whilst he continues to represent an athletics company and yet he's head of the international athletics community, I don't have any confidence or faith in him whatsoever. And then this morning, what do I find? A headline on the BBC about how the British government is going to make strenuous efforts to discontinue the use of homeopathy. It's going to put homeopathy on the blacklist as far as the medicinal processes of this country. It's going to stop homeopathy being used in the National Health Service because there's no proof that it exists. Well, you can say the same for astrology. It seems to me that if there's no scientific proof and if you can't make money out of it from the drug companies, then there's no point in having it as far as the mainstream medical or scientific community goes. This is a bit of a rant and how I can just about tie all this stuff up with Saturn Square Neptune, especially right now with the moon in Sagittarius just past Saturn squaring Neptune as I speak. Today, incidentally, is an actually really good day. The moon's in Sagittarius all day. It's making some lovely aspects to some really interesting planets. And as you can, moon in Sagittarius is all about getting out there and travelling, whether it's travelling physically in terms of exploring new culture or travelling academically as in broadening the mind. And look at this, am I broadening the mind? You can't see Snowdon because it's in the background, eclipsed by cloud, but you can see some of the foothills around it. And those little white things in the distance, they're sheep. Right, okay, that's it for today, folks. Have a great day. Catch you in the morning. Bye.